Tell me all your names, baby. Tell me all your names, I need to know. Then I'll tell you mine, baby. Then I'll tell you mine.
Hi guys, welcome to the Purple Heart universe, and I'm Paramani Kumalo, also known as M the Poet. Yeah, you're probably wondering why I've got this metal object in my arm. Yeah, it's been rather long, dramatic couple of weeks and months, that is. I don't know if you guys managed to catch it. I think 2 weeks back there was a specific episode on SADC 1 around 9:30, the cutting edge. So basically what they were talking about is the turf war that's going on in Spruit. Excuse me, in Katlehong in the East Rand. What's happening there is there happens to be a war between your foreign-owned nationals against the local-owned businesses going on there. And me being one of the managers of those stores, I was a casualty to the whole thing that was happening, you know. So what happened was your foreign nationals basically, when they were removed around September last year, we local business owners, we basically formed a forum and we tried our best to actually come together and make sure that they don't come back, because we had votes and so forth and people actually agreed that they don't want them back. So when this happened, they were persistent in trying to come back, and we went through the proper channels of trying to make sure that they won't come back. They bribed the police and so forth. But anyway, this is not a documentary. Yeah, to those of you who haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, and turn on your notifications. And yeah, on a lighter note to my year, I actually want to start off the series to my poetry on a lighter note, you know, so it's more infatuated poetry than anything. Yeah, I'm kind of like a shadow poet myself. I don't really dwell that much into the lovey-dovey side of things. I'm more of catastrophe, depression, and so forth type of poetry, but just to excite people and pick up the mood a bit. I'll explain everything more thereafter, and I'll dwell into what basically happened to me thereafter. So I'm not really a performer, so what I'll do is I'll try and read it out to you. I'm sorry for not memorizing this. It is quite difficult to memorize every poem you've written, because yeah, it's a lot. The title to this poem is A Letter to the Editor. The person one loves at first isn't the person one loves at last. Love is not an end, it is a process through which one person attempts to know the other, and in doing so we change over time. Sometimes. Love is the death of duty. I know that it wasn't love at first sight, it was more my soul recognizing yours. We are not bound by lifetimes, but by the overlap of time's fiction. We are but characters in our own pages, are still being edited. I am a place, a home, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Where dead things are granted new life, there is grace even in death. For our memories are scattered in the earth as that of pollen. But I wonder, is it really my mind that's eating away at itself? Is there really a monster replacing my consciousness with its own inside mine? Am I really the only one that knows how I look at the scalpel and wonder how long will it take for me to become the frog? Because what if I actually was the frog? What if all the suffering in this novel, what if I am the one who dies in the first chapter? Dear editor, I've had quite enough of your theatrics. If it sits you well, may I please be excused. I am but carbon dioxide and regret. The winter with a scorching sun but piercing wind, my cheek brushes against hers. Smooth, and then I am complimented by her smile, a love language taught by a foreigner in a language I have not become fluent in. Memories from my mystic dream vividly reappearing. She smiles, she giggles, she giggles, she giggles. A favorite time of day, her face swells with love when she laughs, and her smile beams into a waxing crescent. Loving you has become a church, and my poetry tithes that I offer to you wholeheartedly. Your love, the blessings that tower down when I praise and worship my love. There are days where the earth shines brighter in your presence. If one would go deeper within me, they would find you basking in the sun like tiny islands combing the seas of far-off continents. I have seen parts of myself that have shriveled and jostled aside as that of crumpled pieces of paper inside the bin. Yet you have made peace with the suffering and showed me I was the origami. Love. I have waited 8 years, lost in the loop of self-loathing, banging my toes against the edges of scorned women in the sunken place. Deep within the pearly gates of darkness, yes, I know we all break in the same language, but your hands, lips, and hips are the element of foreign worlds, a technology my powerful heart is yet to see. And maybe you are not made of time, you are forever. I have felt eternity on the wrists of your kisses. Love. Your eyes bear millenniums, your voice centuries, and your touch decades. Become dust with me. A letter to the editor. Okay, I'm gonna try and dissect this. I've been struggling to write as of late, so instead of writing one poem in a space of, 30 minutes or two hours, excuse me, like I used to, it takes me roughly about at least a week. So you can imagine within the space of time while I was trying to draft it, edit it, and complete the poem, I was basically feeling different emotions at the time as I was writing. And sometimes I was like deeply in love because of whatever happened. I was moved by certain things, probably angry here and there. So you can just tell with the mood of the poem that this person wasn't of sound mind at the time. It's basically about my fear of how I'm more of a character in a bigger piece, like the Matrix type of thing, like I'm asleep and I'm like living this fairy tale life because of my acquired girlfriend. And I just feel like all the things that have been happening to me are like a movie, like someone is dictating what I'm supposed to do and so forth. It basically comes to a point where I look at everything and I'm like, am I really the person who's in charge of my life, Because I'm looking at God as the creator of the movie. He's literally like directing everything that happens. But in a sense, when I found my girlfriend, she basically became the light of the entire book or movie, if you'd like to call it that, And I've kind of found meaning to what's basically happening in this movie or book that's been happening, you know. So yeah, that's why I titled it Letter to the Editor, and I basically personified my girl to God, hence giving her the tithes and everything of that nature. So, okay, let me just dissect everything else. Okay, so basically what happened with me is I was shot 3 times. One bullet basically broke my arm into 3 different pieces. The bullet passed and entered the side of my body, just above my ribs, and the bullet is still inside, but it wasn't removed because they thought it would be too much of a complication if they removed it, and yeah, I would leave damages thereafter. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm the best I've been since the incident happened, and then I got shot in the head twice. Luckily, by God's grace, one passed my ear. It grazed my ear and kind of hit the senses of my ear, so kind of like here on one side, my left hand side, and the other bullet that went into my head, they quickly took it out while I was being stabilized, and luckily it didn't do much damage. And so yeah, I have God to thank for my life. I really don't think there's anyone else I could possibly thank. I'm really grateful I'm still here, and that's really the reason why I haven't been giving you guys any content. But due to the lockdown, you're probably going to be seeing more of me, and yeah, do comment below on what you think about the poem, and yeah, if you guys have any poems I've written before, or know of any poems that are on my blog or anywhere that are your favorites, do comment below. Just let me know which ones you like, and if I could probably recite them as a form of a request, I'd appreciate that as well. Any form of what do they call it? Any form of criticism that's basically positive.
I've been chasing the moon and the stars,
whatever. But yeah, that's all from me.
I've been trying to be where you are.
I'm still thinking of a word I can actually call.
Could it be that I'm searching too hard?
I'm gonna figure that out later. But for now,
I wish you'd come and find me. Won't you come and find me? 'Cause I'm down when you're far away, yeah. When you're gone, I don't sleep for days, yeah. I've been stuck in the darkest stage, yeah. Can't you see what I'm trying to say? I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without you. You're my missing piece, I don't wanna live without you. You're my missing piece, I don't feel at home without you. 'Cause I'm nothing without you. I've been running away from the sun. A girl